From TLDR News, this is your daily briefing for Friday the 27th of May. Good afternoon. Today we'll be discussing some of the biggest stories, including Kathmandu electing a rapper as mayor and British soldiers being arrested on drug offences. And then we'll be answering today's big question. How did Chancellor Rishi Sunak ease the cost of living crisis? Like every day, today's big question is exclusively in the extended version of the daily briefing on Nebula, with that version being about 2 to 3 times longer than the normal show. I'm telling you that because just this week we're running a special offer, 42% off. That's just $11.59 for the whole year. Anyway, it's linked below and I'll explain fully at the end of the video. But first, a vote on North Korean sanctions. China and Russia have vetoed a US-led effort in the United Nations Security Council to impose tougher sanctions on North Korea. It marks the first ever public split in the Council since it started punishing Pyongyang in 2006. The US drafted resolution would have banned tobacco and oil exports to North Korea, and blacklisted the Lazarus hacking group, which allegedly has ties to the state. The failed resolution follows the latest missile tests by North Korea, including a test of what is thought to be the country's largest intercontinental ballistic missile. Between 2006 and 2017, the Security Council has gradually and unanimously increased sanctions on North Korea, so China and Russia's veto marks a big change. Russia's ambassador said new sanctions are a path to a dead end, whilst China said it would just lead to more negative effects and an escalation of confrontation. In a vote late on Thursday, the Polish parliament approved legislation put forward by their president that would row back on controversial judicial reform. Reforms that the EU believe breach the principle of the rule of law. Specifically, the proposed legislation would dismantle the disciplinary chamber, as well as reform the disciplinary regime for judges and formally reinstate judges that were dismissed under the existing regime. The legislation marks a significant step in Poland's bid to unlock their share of the EU's recovery fund, the issue being that the law now faces a major hurdle, the Polish Senate. Currently, opposition parties control the Senate, and all opposition parties voted against the law in Parliament. Critics also say the move is just face-saving, pointing to the fact that the disciplinary chamber dismantling is, in reality, just a name change. Yesterday saw tens of thousands of passengers across Europe face turmoil as Easyjet was forced to ground part of its fleet due to an IT glitch. At around 1 PM UK time, the UK's largest airline by passenger numbers was forced to cancel upwards of 200 flights to and from UK airports, before rectifying the issue by the mid-afternoon. Although the issue was quickly fixed, disruption continued for hours as planes and crews were stuck in the wrong places. This latest glitch comes after a myriad of other problems to hit the aviation sector in recent weeks and months. Both Easyjet and British Airways have been forced to cancel hundreds of flights due to staff sickness, with British Airways suffering catastrophic IT glitches on a recurring basis. The exact cause of Easyjet's glitch is unknown. 2 weeks ago, the people of Nepal went to the polls and voted in this year's local elections. And one result, confirmed in the last couple of days, is quite an upset, especially considering the traditional dominance of the two main parties. The country's capital city, Kathmandu, rejected both main parties and elected a rapper and civil engineer as its new mayor. As a big name in Nepal's music scene, 32-year-old Balender Shah harnessed young voters' frustration with established elderly leaders and utilised the internet in his campaign and won just under 40% of the vote. The two other major candidates from the Nepali Congress Party and the Communist Party received about 24% each. As a trained engineer, in addition to his hip-hop career, Shah planned to upgrade and improve the city's infrastructure for its nearly 1.5 million citizens, as well as focusing on education, sanitation, culture, tourism, and more. Today, it has been revealed that 6 soldiers who were meant to be involved in the Trooping of the Colour event at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee have been arrested on suspicion of drug and money laundering offences. The soldiers are part of the 1st Battalion Irish Guards, whose duties include guarding the royal palaces while wearing the iconic bearskin hat and red tunic. According to The Sun, the soldiers are being held for organising a loan shark operation. Part of this included lending money at extortionate rates and laundering money. It has been reported that the police came in like the DEA, kicking down doors. The Ministry of Defence said of the incident, "The army does not tolerate any type of illegal or fraudulent behaviour. As this is now the subject of an independent Royal Military Police investigation, it is inappropriate to comment further." That's all we have time for on YouTube today, but remember, it never gets cheaper than right now to get a full year subscription to Nebula. That way you'll get the ad-free extended briefing every day, including how did Chancellor Rishi Sunak ease the cost of living crisis. That's available to watch on Nebula or stream on your favourite podcast app of choice. Like I said, our friends at CuriosityStream, the streaming service which offers some of the world's best documentaries, is offering a deal whereby you can get both platforms, CuriosityStream and Nebula, for $11.59 a year. That's all of the documentaries you could want on CuriosityStream, and then more TLDR on Nebula, including the extended briefing, other full exclusive TLDR videos, and it's always ad-free. Click the link below to get both services for less than $12 a year, the cheapest it gets, whilst also supporting the channel.